Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. My name is Rachel. Today we are doing a full body yoga for flexibility practice. So find just a little bit of space to move, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. And let's get started. So let's begin today in a nice comfy seat, whatever that happens to look like for you. And we're just going to place our hands on our knees. Close your eyes, take an inhale, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, let your chin fall down towards your collarbone. As you inhale, let your head roll over towards your right shoulder. And just hold it here for a breath. And then you can slowly let the chin fall back down. And just using an inhale as you roll your head over to the other side. Maybe sitting up a little taller. And slowly letting the chin fall back down one more time. Maybe the chin can come a little closer to the collarbone. And using the inhale to lift your head back up, either just to a neutral place or you can keep lifting your chin. Maybe the hands are coming behind the head for some support. Bringing length into the front of the neck. And then slowly just letting the chin fall back down towards that neutral place where it's not lifted, it's not tucking down. And if your hands are on your head, just bring them back to your knees and use an inhale, lift the shoulders. And then exhale as you roll them back and down. Awesome, you guys. We're just going to bring our hands to the floor behind us. So maybe just the fingertips. Use an inhale, start to lift your chest, pull the shoulders back. Maybe lift the chin. And then using an inhale, start to bring the shoulders forwards and lower the chest. And you can start to interlace your fingers in front of you, pushing your palms forwards, rounding through the upper back. Bring your chin down towards the collarbone. And then with an inhale, sweeping the arms up above the head. Maybe lifting the chin again. Let's take another big inhale here. And an exhale, let your arms fall all the way to your sides. And if you want to take one more shoulder roll, you can take one more shoulder roll. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees for tabletop. So bring your knees right underneath your hips. We're going to reach our right arm out in front and slide the left arm underneath the chest. Try to drop that left shoulder all the way down to the floor and rest your head as well. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale, lifting that left shoulder. Reach your arm out in front next to that right one. Slowly start to dip the chest, dip the forehead towards the floor. Nice big puppy dog stretch. And then using an inhale, we're going to lift right back up. Don't worry, we'll come back there. And take your right arm, slide it under. Drop that shoulder, rest your head if you can. And with an inhale, let's lift back up, reaching that right arm out again. Reach, reach, reach. Keep those hips high and just let your forehead and your chest fall towards the mat. Awesome job, you guys. Use an inhale, lift on up. You can walk your hands back in underneath your shoulders. Maybe let your hips take a little rock side to side. We're going to be bringing our right foot forwards and our hands to the ground. So I want you to let your knee come really far past your big toe so that your heel lifts off the mat. And then see if you can just let your chest rest on that front knee. The more body weight you put on that front knee, the more you might feel the stretch for the back of the ankle. But the heel's lifted. And as you encourage it down towards the ground, you might feel that stretch a whole lot more. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale, just start to lift your chest up, coming off that front knee. And we're just going to walk our foot a little further forwards so that when we come into our lunge again, the knee isn't coming past the big toe anymore. It's right over top of that front ankle. So sinking into the hips, you're going to feel this a whole lot more in that hip flexor. You can roll your mat over if you need a little extra padding. But we're going to lift the chest up if you'd like to. Sink into those hips. And then we're just going to take a twist to the left. So if you'd like to gently bring that forearm to the inside of your knee, and maybe your left hand wants to find your hip or your back leg. Just feeling a whole lot of love through that left hip flexor. Awesome, you guys. Use an inhale to bring your upper body back to face the front, and an exhale to bring your hands to your mat. So we're going to be sending our hips back here just to release that hip stretch. A little half splits. Not here too long. Take one more breath. And then use an inhale to bend back into your front knee. And we're going to slide that right knee all the way back in. And I want you to bring your knees out nice and wide here. So your feet can kind of come towards one another. They don't have to touch, but our feet are going to be out nice and wide. We're reaching our arms back out in front. Just taking a wide-kneed puppy dog. So reach, reach, reach. Push into those palms. Keep the hips high. Start to lower the forehead. Lower the chest. Maybe you notice you can sink a little lower with the upper body, with the knees out wide. And then with your next inhale, let your upper body start to lift back up. Walk your hands in, walk your knees in. We're going to bring our left foot forwards, starting with the ankle stretch so your knee can come all the way past your big toe. Let the heel lift up. If you are lucky, you will feel this through that right hip flexor too. But let's think about that left ankle right now. Putting as much body weight on the knee as you need. Awesome job, you guys. Use an inhale. Start to lift yourself back up. We are just walking our front foot forwards a little bit more. Adjusting that lunge. Try to get your ankle right under your front knee this time. Sinking into those hips. You can lift the chest. Trying to find that right hip flexor. Option for a twist to take things a little deeper. Turning the chest to the right and still sinking the hips forwards. Awesome, you guys. Using an inhale to turn yourself back to face the front, and an exhale, lower your hands down, just sending the hips back to release the hip flexor. Get a little hamstring stretch while we're here, half splits. Nice, you guys. Using an inhale just to bend into that front knee again. And we'll slide that knee all the way back. So you're on your hands and your knees. And we're going to bring our knees out nice and wide again. And we're going to take child's pose this time. So if you would like to bring your big toes together, send your hips back towards your heels. You can even push into your palms a little bit. If you want more for the hips, just start to bring your feet out wider as well. Say as far as the edges of the mat, but you're still encouraging the hips back towards the heels. Nice job, you guys. Using an inhale when you're ready, starting to lift the forehead, lift your hips away from the heels. Bring your knees all the way back in. You can even just sit on your heels for a moment. I want to get into the quad next. I'm going to give you guys two options. You can lay on your right side and then grab your left foot in your hand and hug your heel towards your glute. I'm going to lay on my stomach for this one. So you got to be able to grab onto your foot and just encourage your heel towards your glute. And if your heel touches your glute, no problem. You can try to encourage the heel towards the floor beside you. You might even feel this more in the top of the ankle and the top of the foot than the quad. That's okay too. But we're going to let that left foot go. If you're laying on your side, just roll over to your other side. We're grabbing that foot to the other leg, encouraging the heel towards the glute or beside the glute. Awesome, you guys. Letting your foot go out long. If you're on your tummy, we're going to start to come back up. So if you're laying on your side, you can also start to come back up onto your hands and knees first, and then we'll cross our ankles and have a seat. So let's keep both of our feet out and our legs out long. Well, not long, knees bent to start here. And if you'd like to just come into a nice little ball, you can wrap your arms around your legs or you can hang onto your knees, but just start to tuck your chin towards your collarbone. And you can stay here or you can start to walk your feet out a little further and a little further, taking this forward fold as far as you'd like. But maybe you can keep your chin tucked and your forehead coming towards your knees. And if this does not feel good on that low back, take an inhale and reset and really lengthen your spine. And you can stay sitting tall, or you can tip forwards a little bit, but keep the chest proud. Awesome job, you guys. Using an inhale when you're ready to come all the way up and out of that forward fold. And you can bring your hands behind you. We're gonna bend our legs again and bring your feet about mat width apart, nice and wide. And then we're just gonna let our legs, our knees fall over towards the left. So let the knees fall and see if you can bring your right shin all the way to the floor. And you can let that right hip lift up. See if you can get the shin down. And then if you feel a nice stretch through that outside quad, that glute, you can just stay kind of twisting, lifting the hip. Or if you want more, if you bring that right hip back down or in the direction of the floor, you might feel that a lot more, but just try to relax that right leg and just find what feels right for you. Nice, you guys. And we're going to use an inhale to bring the knees all the way back up, smooth, nice and slow. Maybe a little rock side to side. So our feet are out nice and wide. We're going to let our knees fall over to the right this time. So kind of do what you got to do to bring the shin all the way to the floor. So let the glute lift if it feels good. But if the shin does not want to touch down, that's fine. That's completely fine. We're trying to feel a little something through the outer quad and that outer glute of that left leg. Awesome job, you guys. Using an inhale, slowly bring the knees back up. Maybe a little rock side to side. Shake it out a little bit. And then you can bring your feet a little closer together and start to roll yourself all the way down onto your back. Resting your head. Walking your feet in a little bit. We're just going to pull the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a nice big hug. You can keep hanging onto your knee, or you can hang onto the back of your quad and see if the right leg just wants to lift up into the air. And then maybe pointing your toes here, stretching the top of that ankle as you really point the toes. And then you can flex the foot, pull the toes towards your forehead. Maybe your hands are sliding up the back of your leg towards your foot. Nice job, you guys. Letting your hands fall back down and the knee bend. And then you can pull the left knee in towards the chest. That right foot will find the ground. Giving it a nice big hug. And then the option to grab onto the back of the quad. Maybe straighten the leg. Maybe point the toes straight up. And then if you'd like to flex the foot, maybe slide the hands up the back of the leg, maybe not. Awesome, you guys. Slowly bending that knee, bringing your foot all the way down to the floor. You can do a little rock side to side here if it feels good. And then we're going to be pulling our right knee back towards the chest and straightening the left leg out long this time, taking a twist so you can pull your knee across your body. Let that right hip lift up, just your shoulders so they stay down. Twisting mostly here, letting the knee be heavy towards that left side. And if you are able to grab your left foot with your right hand, maybe a little extra quad or maybe just a funky twist, but just an option. You don't have to grab that foot or even try to grab that foot. If you did grab that left foot though, just start to let go and send your leg out long. Everybody take a nice big breath in and out in this twist. And use the inhale to help bring your leg back up. Give your knee one more hug. And then send it out. Left knee will come in towards the chest, giving it a nice big hug. Straightening that right leg out, pulling the knee across for your twist. Adjust your shoulders so they stay down, especially that left one. Maybe reaching for that right foot. And just breathe a little deeper. Awesome, you guys. If your foot is in your hand, let it go first. Take one more big breath in and out. And then use an inhale to lift the leg back up. You can give your left knee one more nice big hug before you let go. And send your legs out nice and long. So bring your feet together and your legs together. We're gonna interlace our fingers. And we're gonna turn our palms to face up towards the ceiling and then reach them above the head. And then take a nice big full body good morning stretch. Even if it's the evening or the middle of the day. Point those toes, push the palms, shrug the shoulders. And then you can let your arms just come back to your sides. And walk your feet out wide. And just start to make your way into Savasana. Just let your entire body be still for a few moments. Let every part of you that's touching the ground be nice and heavy. As always, I encourage you to stay here for as long as you have time for. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, namaste.